Okay. So did everyone get at least a chance to make an AWS account? If not, everybody's good. So I'm assuming you had a chance to at least make it. If you've got all the way to the point where you created your database, I'm going to go ahead and just walk through the steps again so we get them on video. And then if you missed a step, you can kind of catch up on that part of it. But these are all of the tools that are available to you as part of an AWS Now subscriber. Some of them cost money, but most are free for the first year. What they do is they give you credit for amount of time that you're using them, and as long as you don't go over about 24 hours in 30 days, whatever it is, 740 hours in a month, you won't get charged. So where you run into problems is when you have two databases running and each one is being charged. So then you only get 15 days a month for free. So I'll warn you up front that one database, you can keep it running all month long and you won't get charged. But if you're practicing, you create a second one, that's where you start running into problems where it could hit your credit card. And the other thing to keep aware is from a database perspective and some of the other service perspective is if you turn it off for 7 days, it will automatically turn on. So if you say you create 3 or 4 databases and you go, oh, I'm just going to play around with it, and you go, I'll just turn them off. Well, after 7 days, they all come back on, and all of a sudden, these little ching, 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 ching little charges go on. And Amazon, I think I remember, makes more money off their AWS platform now than it does off its e-commerce site. There are so many companies that run their platforms on these pieces of information here, and there is stuff for everything. And I couldn't even, we could probably spend the next full week, 40 hours a day talking about all these different things. But the important ones we would ever do, EC2, Elastic Beanstalk, S3, maybe some Glacier storage, but the one we're going to do is right down here, and it's RDS, Relational Database Services. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And if you already did this, just kick back, relax, watch along. So right now I have 2 database instances. I'm going to go ahead and click that first. And right now they both should be stopped, hopefully. Yeah, so they're both stopped. But after a period of time, these will turn back on. So this one I use for GCU demos. This is the one I did for practice for tonight. I actually could probably delete that one. If you do want to delete one, you can just go ahead and click that button right there. You go to action and you click delete. And you do want to confirm. So if you want to create them just for the fun of it, just to practice the steps, you can definitely go through that process. A final snapshot would allow us to kind of put it back in place. Maybe down the road, if we want to come back in there, we can go ahead and create that. I don't want to retain auto backups. I acknowledge that including the system will no longer be available. We strongly recommend they're making sure you create that snapshot, but there's nothing in mine right now, so I can go ahead and delete that.
Well, were we supposed to create a database for tonight?
No, we're going to do that right now. So if you,
okay.
you could have. I mean, all the instructions were in the PowerPoint. So, but I'm walking through the steps right here. So everything's going to take a little bit longer. What you're doing is you're actually on a server that's sitting in some data center somewhere in the world. Actually, probably in multiple data centers, and the CPU that you got to get in the queue to get processed. So this deletion process could take a little while. Just like starting, it's going to take a little bit while. So I'm going to go back to the front of the RDS dashboard. So this is where you are. Yours probably says 0 DB instances if you've never created one right now. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a database. So most of the buttons in Amazon that you need to click are important are the big orange ones. So if you don't know what to click on, just look for a big orange button. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and click Create Database. And I'm not going to go down the easy create. We're going to follow the standard create because there's a couple more options we have available. These are all of the different versions of databases. So we've been doing everything on MySQL, but there are some other databases. We could do something in Postgres, which is probably a little more powerful, another free tool that comes along with it. Maria is a MySQL offspin, and then Amazon has its own version that's kind of a MySQL flavor, but actually there might be Postgres flavor. I forget which one the Amazon one is, but MariaDB is an offshoot of MySQL. These two right here cost money. So if you wanted to create an Oracle or a SQL Server 1, there is a cost that comes along with that. And when we check the free button, you'll see that those will disappear. So if you stick up here to MySQL and Postgres, you can work in a free environment. So we're going to go ahead and click MySQL since we're familiar with that. We'll let the version default to what it is. So we're doing the MySQL Community Edition 8.015. Here's where it starts getting, you gotta be careful. So production, high defaults, high availability, fast, moderate, you're getting on the high CPUs, you're getting redundancy, you're getting all kinds of fun stuff. Scalability, as demand increases, they actually provision you more hardware to make it run faster. Dev test, if you're need a bigger environment, you can do that, but we're going to go to the free tier, which means that we're going to be the slowest and least redundant one, but we're going to click free on that one. Down here, this is our database identifier. This is our name, so we can call it whatever we want. I'm going to just stick with the default. If you keep track of what your database name is going to be, it'll show up on a screen later on, but this is where it goes in. Master username, admin, and then put your password in, and remember what your password is. This is the only time that you'll actually be able to see your password and know what it is. So just like we did when we set up MySQL, put a password in that you understand what it is. I forget what the criteria is down here. 8 printable ASCII characters, cannot contain any of those pieces down there. So I use the same for all of mine. Put your password in. Since we're doing free stuff, all these things are just going to be checked for us. Burstable caches, classes, general purpose storage, allocate storage, edit, maximum storage threshold. We'll just keep working through here. We're not going to worry about connectivity right now. We'll change that later. Password authentication, all the way down. So everything else is default. And you can go ahead. Right here, the Amazon free tier is available for 12 months. Each calendar month, the free tier will allow you to use the Amazon for free. So 750 hours of RDS in a single instance. When you start making seconds, when it creates all kind of problem. You also don't want to create huge data storages. So 20 gigabytes, you'd have a tough time filling that up. But go ahead and create database. And we can sit and chat for about 3 or 4 minutes about what's going to happen there. So it's going to say creating on this screen for a while. Sometimes it's easier to just go ahead and keep refreshing, but I've timed it, and the fastest it's ever done is 2 minutes, and the longest it's ever took was 6 minutes. So we'll just kind of watch this one going right now. How many people actually created the database earlier? Anybody? Mara did. Nobody. Okay. Oh, it's like successfully deleted. That was the other one that got deleted earlier.
Oh,
so
it
I
took
was like,
that
wow, that was, yeah, it takes a while. If we were in production, it probably would be a little bit faster, but your database might take a few minutes to launch. While this is doing this, so what are the 3 pieces of information? What are the 4 pieces of information you need to connect to any database?
Your server.
Your server, yep.
The username and password.
The database and the username and password. So 4 pieces of information. For when we're connecting to something that's not on our computer, well, first of all, what's the server name when you're connecting to a local computer? What have you been using for your server name or your
like
server?
127.0.0.1 or
yeah,
something like that?
Yeah, either localhost or 127.0.0.1 is everything that runs on your local computer. I'll tell you that the URL, the thing we're going to have to type in is not that short since we're going out on the internet and we can't just type in an IP address. These servers are shared. My guess is this database server probably has, I don't know, 100,000 different, 100 or 1,000 different databases running on it. So you have to be very specific where you're going. It creates virtuals on the same piece of hardware. And these pieces of hardware are probably multi-core processors with terabytes of RAM and all kinds of fun stuff. So they're pretty big. But from a cloud perspective, it's all about one piece of hardware that someone else manages and you put your application up there. It used to be you had to have a data center and you actually had people that would go plug cords in, put their keyboard in front of it and type along with it. So you had to have a system administrator on staff. You had to monitor it 24/7, which is nowadays, this is all being done. Amazon has a data center and manages for thousands and thousands of clients, and they freed up those companies to focus more on development and not have to deal with the system administration. Just the database, creating a database server up and running could be a full-time job. So now we can just go to these sites and spin up databases as often as we want or anything else. So this should be just about done. We're a little over 2 minutes now. For those that watch the AWS credential videos or participate in that 4-hour thing, it was definitely overwhelming in terms of all the different stuff. They didn't even talk about all the different pieces that go along with it. But there's one that I wanted to kind of hit while this is going, and it's the Lambda server. And all these things that we're doing from web-based things, you host them on a website, and that website's up 24/7. But sometimes you only need to run a query once a day. Like maybe you run a backup that happens at 12:01. Well, why would you have a server or a computer set up that sits there idle for 24 hours, well, 23 hours and 59 minutes a day? So these Lambda servers spin up only as you need them, and there's case studies of how much companies are saving by not paying for having idle servers sitting around. So they're interesting things. If you ever want to geek out, just Google anything about Amazon and all the cool stuff that they're doing on these servers. There's actually a machine learning and AI tool that you can, as one of your services, you can play around with it. And there's some really cool YouTube videos. So you can spin up an AI server, and then you can learn it. You can teach it to learn. You can teach it to do some stuff. Follow a couple of videos. That's not usually written in Java. I think that one's actually written in C, so you'd have to learn a little C programming to go along with it. We should be getting pretty close here now. Did anybody's finish yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, I guess sometimes if you refresh, it goes faster, but it looks like I got a little spinning wheel. They must have added that. I don't remember that going there to look like it's still doing something. Oh, so you notice my other one's being backed up right now. I didn't ask for it to be backed up, but they probably figure somebody's stupid and deleted a database and they're going to create a backup. I don't know how you would ever get it back, but something's happening on that one. We won't eat. Oh, go ahead.
What was the song you were playing earlier? The last song you played?
Centuries by Fall Out Boy.
That was the last song you played?
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember me for centuries. Yeah. Okay. Da, 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 da. I never saw the video before. And it's funny, I watched those things and I'm like, is this appropriate for Grand Canyon to show like people with halos and then wings and stuff? But it's just us little group, right? We'll just keep it amongst ourselves. So
we'll keep it Vegas rule.
Yeah.
What?
Keep what happens here stays here.
Exactly.
Well, the first one I played was Light 'Em Up. That's my favorite Fall Out Boy song. And then I did a little Red Hot Chili Pepper, We're Under the Bridge. Yeah, I'm just jamming out. Okay. I'm going to actually, well, I guess I won't refresh my page. Should be getting done. Now we're, oh, there we go. I got mine done. I'll wait till everybody else gets caught up and then we'll, so if you're following along, just give me a thumbs up or tell me when yours completes and then we'll move on. Phillips is done. Mara, you already did this already, so you're not following along. Right? Steve, is yours done, or is yours still following along, or?
Mine's still creating right now.
Okay. The good thing this is not running on your computer, so it should not make a difference on speed or internet connection. This is all happening on the a server again somewhere. Actually, while we're doing this, up here, this is the server. These are all the different data centers they have around the U.S. So the one where mine's actually running it is in Ohio. I'm not sure why I'm in Ohio and not Northern California. But anyway, that's where they picked. This probably had the least latency, the biggest latency from where I am. They probably pinged the various locations and said, this is what's going on. But if you want to deploy something in South America or Europe, you can pick those various pieces also.
I heard that the East Virginia one crashes a lot.
Really? Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever been, I don't think I ever did anything in East Virginia one. So
I think they said that that was like the first one that they created, and because like lots of people used it, it crashes a lot, something like that.
Well,
That's
I
not,
remember in like 2016, 2017, when like a bunch of companies that were using AWS got hacked, and a ton of companies were down for a while, like McDonald's and I don't know who else was, but
yeah. Well, I mean, if everyone's using it, they're probably better now. They probably have so many checks and balances and
oh, I'm
redundancies in place.
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
so there's one service here. It's called S3 Glacier, and they market it as unlimited storage. And you think unlimited, you're like, how can you have unlimited? But they said that they can add hardware faster than you can add data. So you could just keep dumping data on that thing and it would go on. But it is a slower one. It's designed for things that you don't access like real time. There's more from
Yeah.
a backup perspective. So how you doing, Steve? Things moving on or still creating it?
Well, I tried refreshing it, and then the bar at the top went away, and I don't know if it's created.
Does it
It
say
says
available right here?
status.
Yeah. What's the
It says
status?
status backing up.
Backing up. Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right before it's available. Okay, you should be done in just a couple seconds then. Um, since
hopefully.
since um, since you got rid of the green thing or the blue thing, you might have to refresh your page to get that passed off the backup.
So you said refresh the page to get it back up?
Yeah, see if it says available then. I'm sure this is
Oh
running some
yeah,
kind.
yeah,
It's available. Okay, I'm sure it's running some
yeah.
kind of JavaScript, and when that thing on the top is spinning, it's probably constantly refreshing the page. But when you refresh the page, the JavaScript probably died, and you had to wait for the single to come back here. Okay, so good. So we're all in here. Let's go ahead and click our database. We're going to go into it, and there's a couple things we need to change in here so that we can access it from remotely. So the first thing we want to change is there is a little box right here on my screen you can see that says public accessibility. Well, if that's no, you're not accessing this from anywhere. So we need to change that setting there. So let's go ahead and go up to action, or we can just click modify. This is a little bit, okay. And a lot of these things we've already set. So if you scroll down through here, you'll see these things. There's our database identifier, our new master password if you wanted to change it. So if we forget it, we want to check this public accessibility, we want to change that to yes. So about halfway down the page under network and security, you want to change that to yes. And there's our database port, some other stuff, backup periods, log experts, maintenance windows, enable deletion protection. So if you don't want to accidentally delete something, you could turn that on, but I leave that turned off. I think it's going to pop up a warning here first, but go ahead and click continue. Now it's telling us we've made some changes. So you should see publicly accessible. The current value is no, the new value is yes. So that's what we want. And we want to apply this immediately. There's some changes that you don't, like if you're running this on production, you wouldn't want to take the server down at noon on a Friday if you're doing bookings for like trips and something like that. So since we're doing our own database, we can apply immediately. It'll just take the server down. It thinks it take it down for a few seconds, but you can go ahead and click modify database. And this does not say no, yes, but should update there in a few minutes. While that's updating, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple other pieces here. So we want to go to, I think it's not there, logs and events, configuration. There's configuration. Oh, no, it's not configuration. Where is it? Oh, I was on the first page we were looking at. Sorry, back to connectivity and security there. So this is our endpoint. So when we were talking about the URL that you connect to, and we were doing 127.0.0.1 for our local host, this path you're going to need. So go ahead and copy that and put it either into a notepad or something. I'm going to drop mine into a text editor. Drop that into there. And the port number should be the same as what you would see normally. So if you want to type that in, you can type in your port number 3306. I'll put that at the end of mine here. Make that a little bigger if I can so you can see what that is. I guess I can't make it bigger. Okay. And back here, I'm going to go ahead and refresh my page and see if it picked up the public accessibility part. Yeah, so now I'm public accessible, which means I can access this from anywhere. A couple other things we want to get off of configuration here. So if you go to the configuration tab, if you forgot what the master username is, there's my master username, admin. So I'm going to add that to my piece here. And then my password, I'm going to go ahead and type that one in. I tried this earlier, and normally we would have to come into here and change some of these security groups, but I think they're all set up correctly the way we need to, so we should be good to go. Leave this page open and go ahead and open up MySQL Workbench.
Hey, can you go back? What is the admin part? I'm sorry, I got lost.
So on the configuration tab, if you forgot what the the admin is the master username, you just need to get that off that page. So if you changed it, then this would not be admin, but by default.
Oh, okay.
And then go ahead and open up MySQL Workbench.
Is there a password on there or no?
There's no password. The only place you saw password is when you typed it in. So if you don't remember your password, then you're kind of out of luck. So you have to go through the process again. Okay, so move this over to here. So there's the one I connected to earlier, which I just deleted. So that one is now no longer valid in there. Okay, so now we're going to go up to database. We're going to manage our connections. And we're going to make a new connection. Give it a name, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call mine AWS 2. This is only present in MySQL Workbench. This is not present. This is not how you would ever connect to it remotely. This is just for your reference on your various connections here. Your host name is the endpoint. So that path that we created, typed in this long one right here, without the colon 33306. So that goes into host name. Okay, and then your username is admin, not root. And your password is going to be the password that you put in there. If you did everything correctly and you click test connection, you should get successfully made MySQL connection. If you didn't get that, then you either copied something wrong or you put the wrong password in, because there's not much else we can screw up, or you didn't turn public accessibility on. That's the other thing that could pop up that happened. How we doing? Everybody get connected?
Mine's saying not responding right now. Please hold.
Not
Oh, did
respond?
you test connection? Is that what you did to me?
Test connection, yeah.
Oh.
Mine said the same thing, not responding.
You might want to go back and make sure your public accessibility is done. That's normally what that means. It means that it's not sending back a ping message, that it doesn't know it exists. So if you go back to here, make sure it says public accessibility here.
Mine's still loading. I'm gonna just close Zoom for a second and it'll probably
Okay.
pop up.
Mine says it has public accessibility, but it says saying not responding, and it's still like loading, and now it said failed.
Yeah, mine said the same thing.
I'm not sure why there would be any difference between ours when we follow the same steps. Go to your configure. So in AWS, go to your configuration. I guess, well, so this is not connectivity and security. Go to connectivity and security. Down here in security groups, does it say 000/0 at the end of inbound and outbound?
No.
No? Okay. Mine must have had some kind of default that remained in there. So click, you have two things in here though, right?
Yeah, mine says the inbound one though says EC2 security group
Okay.
inbound.
So click that. Click the beginning of that, the EC2, whatever that one is. And where does this go? What shows up on your next page here? Some long letters of stuff.
Yeah. Just one of them now.
Okay, so you know what? Let's share your screen. Let me go ahead and stop here. So one of you, I'm guessing you're both having the same problem. So let's go ahead and walk through it together. So I don't know who wants to share. Okay, if you're having the problem, go ahead and click the SG 4E, yeah, that one. And then I gotta move my screen so I can see what's going on here. Edit inbound rules. And it should be something that says allow all traffic. Click that first one. All traffic, that's set up correctly. What's source? Go to custom. Or just over to the over right there. Yep. Anywhere. Go ahead and click anywhere. And now hit save rule. Or if it's add rule or save rule. Okay, that's looking better. Go ahead and try to your MySQL workbench again. There we go. Okay, I'm not sure. Mine must have some default set up. So Philip and Mara, you're probably going to have the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and finish sharing my screen and you can kind of see what's goes on here. But I'm glad we're recording this so that way you can go back and if you ever have to recreate this. But if you click, so I'm going to go back one screen here. Guess I can't go back. So from here, the security group stuff, you probably have one in here. If you have one or two, we're going to click one of these. And then you're going to click the security group for, if there's only one here, you're going to go ahead and click one. And you want to edit the inbound rules. So we're going to edit inbound. Well, who can access this? You click edit inbound rules. And you want to change custom to anywhere. The other thing that's important, this is more of a security thing, but this is probably good to know, is that database servers really only need to be accessed by servers on the same network or in the same security group. You wouldn't necessarily want anybody in the world to have direct access to your database server. So you do what's called firewall. You protect it and say, only these IP addresses can get access to my database server. And that's what's happening for these inbound rules. We are blocking, if you're on AWS, you probably could get to these databases, but our servers are running locally. So we're just saying we're going to allow database connections from anywhere, which is a huge security no-no. Normally you would not do this on a production environment or even on a development environment where you have data. But to make our life easier, we're not going to go create the whole security rules the way we need to and whitelist our IP address. We're just going to go ahead and open it up for everybody. And so you're going to change that to anywhere, and then you're going to click save rule. And then we can go ahead and go back and try to reconnect your MySQL workbench. How's that working for everybody?
So the connection method, is it the same one that's there? Like I don't change that one.
No, don't change anything else. No. You're still not working? Phillips is working.
Mine's loading.
Should be pretty quick.
This has been giving me the spinning pizza.
Okay, let me go ahead and share. Let's go ahead and see if we can get yours finished up.
Oh, it's not even loading anymore. It just gave up. So I type in the password and then
Ask for the password again?
yeah. Failed to connect. Okay.
Access denied. You have your wrong password. So that's a different error. That's a password error. or
Wait,
you, or
okay. Let me try one more thing. I typed in the password and it's not doing anything.
okay, let's go ahead and I don't know why it keeps asking you for twice. That's a different error. Can you scroll across on where the host name is? What did you paste into host name? You didn't put the colon name after your host name, right?
The host name,
Yeah, go to the end of that. You didn't put the colon 330s.
that's the beginning of it. That's
Yeah,
the,
scroll, use the,
oh,
go to the end of it. No, okay, 3306. Go to your AWS account. Let's take a quick look at that.
okay. I'm gonna reshare. 1 second. Okay.
Okay, so first let's scroll down a little bit here and
Oh, go back.
no, that's fine. Stay here. Go down to edit inbound rules. Let's make sure we have that one. And then you change that to anywhere, right?
Oh, I did just change it to anywhere, did it not?
Anywhere, then add rule. I don't know if you need to change them both. You go ahead and change them both. I don't think it makes a difference, but no, they left
Or
those there, right? Yeah,
yeah.
anywhere and click anywhere. Change the other one too. I don't know if it'll make a difference, but anywhere and then add rule. Or I'm sorry, not add rule. That's good. Oh, create 2 inbound rules already exists. Go back. Take the other one off to custom. Change the second one to custom. And now go ahead and click down to the bottom. Don't click add. Just go ahead and do. What was that before? Do you remember what that said before?
My IP.
Can you go back? I can't see the bottom of your screen, but can you just, is there a back button at the bottom?
There's a cancel. There's
Cancel.
not.
Go to cancel. Okay, let's go back in there. Edit inbound rule. And change that top one to anywhere. And now hit, don't change any, click anything else, go to the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Back. Delete that rule at the top. At the, no, where it says delete on the far side.
Oh,
Right there, yep. And go ahead and change that to anywhere. And I'll go ahead and at the bottom, submit it. Okay, good. And can you go back, close that one and go back to the RDS. Yeah, click that one. Scroll down on this one. This is the same thing we were just looking at.
oh, what's that? Oh,
Oh, no. Okay, wait, scroll down. I just want to say public accessibility. Okay, let's go ahead now back to your MySQL workbench.
okay.
And connect.
Okay. Failed to connect.
That's access denied. That's a different error than.
Okay.
That means the username or password's not correct.
What?
Did you put it? Okay, go back to your MySQL or to the AWS.
Okay.
And go to configuration. Okay, that is admin. Okay, now up to the top, we're going to modify. Scroll down to where it says user password. Down, 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 right there. Put the password in.
That's why.
Why does yours have a 3 next to it? Okay, go ahead and put something in. Well, you had something in there. It's just you couldn't have got this far without putting something in there, but. And then scroll to the very bottom.
Oh, the username. Oh, that's my username. The database. No.
No,
Okay.
it's at the bottom though. You want to check. Oh yeah, apply immediately.
Where's that? Oh,
Up, right. There's a little checkbox right there. Yep.
okay.
Okay. And we can try right away. Normally it takes a couple of seconds for us to happen, but go back to MySQL Workbench and
Oh, and then I do the connect to database
manage database connections.
or manage connections. Okay, hold on. I think you're not seeing the right thing. Okay, and then what did I put in here again?
Whatever you want. That's your.
Oh.
Okay. Host name is the URL, that endpoint that you copied.
Oh, yeah. 1 second. I have it on my notes.
And then admin. Hey. Okay. Typos. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and go back to here. Let's see here, share. Okay, so that's all done now. So test connection, we can go ahead and close that. And we now should have.
Uh-oh.
What?
I don't have the second one. That's
Yeah, I got to find mine, where mine went here. Maybe I could refresh this screen. Let's refresh this. Database, manage connections. There's mine. Why is it not showing here? So database, connect to database. And you can pick it out of your drop down there.
Mine didn't show mine in that drop down.
Mine isn't, yeah, in the drop down.
So if you go to connect to database up here, it doesn't give you the drop down in here.
No.
Okay. Who wants to share, I guess?
I can share.
Okay, so cancel. Let's go back to what other options we have up at the top. So we have database. Go to database manage connections. Oh, it didn't save it. Did you close it, or how did you get out of this screen? You have to put all your stuff back in. So click
Did
new.
test connection, it was successful, and then I closed it.
Yeah, but you did new first, right? You got to do new connection first. So click new on the far left-hand side. There you go. Now you give it a name. You gave it a name though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, close. Now go back up to database. Connect to database. There it is. I don't think you clicked new. I think it was trying to overwrite the one that was already there to localhost one. Okay, Mara, that fix yours? You're on mute.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and Steve, you're good?
Yeah, mine's been good.
Okay, good. Now go ahead and so the good news is that we're done with the hard part, because now everything that we've done in the past, every time we've been in here into our MySQL Workbench, which is, where'd my MySQL Workbench go here? Come on. Where is it? Where'd mine go? MySQL Workbench. I have 3 screens open. It's not open on any of them. Where the heck?
My computer does that too. I just have to close it.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Database, connect to database. Okay. open. Okay, so this is now just like we were going to do, whether it's local or remote, it doesn't make a difference. Everything is in here just the way we want to. So I believe we have the MySQL scripts that are up on, for the Sequila database up on Slack. I forget where they were. I should have actually copied these and moved them up to the top of the list, but
I think I put them in Slack. I think
yeah.
in our courses channel. I might have pinned them.
In 135, you think?
Yeah, I have them. I have them again. I could put them on Slack again.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If you have them easy access, if you can, otherwise I'm gonna
I have
scroll back.
totally easy access to it.
Oh, okay. Then James will put them up in Slack. I didn't come prepared for that part of it.
Yeah, it's good that we're creating the Sequila database in the because I guess that I don't think Glenda went over those scripts exactly, so it's good to see them.
Okay.
Where did I put that? Boot camp. I might have pinned it to the channel. But if I didn't have it.
Otherwise, if you have them locally too, we could probably get them
I
off
have
of there. Okay.
Everyone has them. They're buried in the for most people, the Sequila database scripts are buried in your installation folders, so that it's on your machines. Steve didn't have them, but everyone else said there should be that.
This is my table. This is the purchase table I made. So actually, I'll move this down too because we're going to have to run this one. Whoops. Jeez. So, okay, so there's James's. Let's go ahead and run his first. So he's got the zip file there. Go ahead and get that zip file opened up. And I forget what we run. We run the MD, the backup file, or do you want to go look? Do you want to talk about them, James?
No, these are scripts you can. Once you unzip them, have you unzipped them yet, Rob?
Yep, right here.
So then you have a open query window there that's connected to a database. All you have to do is open file open.
Can I just drag it across? Nope, guess I can't do that.
File. Yeah, you might be able to do that. I don't know. I've always just did file open.
Okay.
Did you get
there,
it?
Yeah, there. You should see it right now on my screen, right?
So there's two files. There's the schema file that creates the schema. That's the database definitions.
And that's what you're seeing right here. So here's the create
Yeah.
tables.
Yes, the table, the create tables and all that. And you can run these locally as well. And that's what I was talking about running, that way you can test your databases and run them to destruction. And then rerun these scripts and you get brand new databases again.
Okay, so it's like I had
Did you run that?
I don't have super privilege for a trigger.
What?
You do not have super privilege.
You do not have super privileges. How about that?
What would be different about that one? What line is that? That's line 14. That's the last. Oh wait, what line number is that?
Last. All the rest of them should be okay.
So you think we actually
You
created
could
the whole
delete
database?
that. You could delete the creation of the trigger.
Where is the creation of the trigger here? So
That's really weird.
procedures,
Oh,
create
you
procedure.
pasted that in and then ran it.
Yep,
What-
just run it normally with like the lightning bolt.
Wow, there's all sorts of stuff in here.
Great trigger, this one. So this one's not, so none of these triggers I'm guessing aren't going to work. I don't know if I got to take them all out. Can I try to run it without that? Oh, table inventory. If it didn't do table inventory, then this won't work. So
Well, let's see what those do.
the two triggers on update film for each row, old title, new title, or old description, we're going to update film text. So film text must be, takes the description out of this one or the title one. That's not gonna, I guess we don't ever do anything with update film, do we? Or
No.
delete film.
So, yeah.
There's
No.
another trigger above that one too, I think.
Oh, why did it get past that one then?
Did
Oh,
it?
no, it didn't. That's insert film. Okay, so none of these
It's weird
work.
that you're weird that you're not like the super admin of the database.
Yeah, I know. I've
Right?
never ran into a problem like that. So
Well,
I'm gonna,
yeah, it's because AWS set up your database and didn't make you the super root administrator.
and then
You
you
probably
can't.
have lots. You're probably a user that has a lot of elevated privileges, but you're not the root.
So you can't create a trigger. I'll have to
That's-
Google that. I'm gonna make a note, and I'm gonna have to Google
I would
that. 'Cause-
interpret that. I mean, look at the error message. It says you have
Yeah.
to get super privileges. Like something like you're not the root, like the root admin of it. You're like an administrator, but not the super root.
Okay, I got a note. I'll research that. But so we're going to delete on line 214. We're going to delete the trigger for INS film. We're going to delete the trigger for UPD film, which is 217, and then we're going to delete the trigger for DEL film.
Right.
So
we're going to
I
delete.
don't. You got that from Slack just now?
Yeah.
What I'm looking at Slack, and it's substantially shorter.
No, there's one right above it. The one James did, the database, the DB.
Sakila.
Yeah. The
Oh.
Sakila. You have to
Oh,
unzip that one.
Huh. Thanks.
And now if I run this, hopefully we'll get past that piece now and not run into some more permission errors. Create function, do not have super privilege for create function, get customer balance. Well, the good news is we don't use any of those right now, but the bad news is we've got to keep playing with this database to get it to work.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which lines did you say we're deleting?
Started at 214. There's 3 triggers at 214.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
look for
the
the word.
stuff in between the delimiters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
look for the
214.
word trigger.
Yeah. And then we're going to have
And
to
now
delete.
you can't. And now you don't have privileges. I want to Google search that because now you're not.
Functions 523.
Yeah, those are stored procedures. You don't have a function. You can create a stored procedure, but you can't create a function. Wow.
Yeah. So this one we're going to
What's the exact text of the error message? I'll go ahead and Google search that.
create procedure. So say create trigger and create procedure do not
Create
work.
trigger, and what's the error?
Don't have, let's see here.
Don't have super users or super root or something.
Yeah, I can't, I don't know how to get to the end of my line now there. Oh, you do not have super privileges. Error code 1419.
So when
Yeah.
we unzip this, what are we clicking on?
Right
The
now we're
schema.
doing schema. We're opening up the schema one. Yep.
But every time I double click on it, it's asking me to open in like a notepad or something or a WordPad.
Yours says must
I
not
went
recognize
through-
MySQL Workbench, but you can just put it into Notepad and just copy the Notepad over. It's not going to be the end of the world for you.
Never mind, I was able to go into it. And then you guys said
214, there's 3 triggers at line 214. And then we're going to, then after that, we're going to go down to, mine's at 523, but we're looking for create function, get customer balance.
So we delete all those triggers. Do we leave the delimiters in there? Or
Yeah, you
delete
can,
those too?
those don't make a difference. They're not
Okay.
they're not going to hurt anything, but.
Here's one command that might work and allow you to do that stuff.
Okay.
I'm not sure of it, but it's a single command anyway. Run that in a script.
And 5, what do we need to get rid of?
We run that at the very top, James.
You just put it in a script and run it. Yeah.
I'm going to put mine at the very top.
hit the bar, hit the lightning, put the cursor on it, and hit the lightning bolt with the R, with the I on it.
And I'll try to run the whole thing again.
Yeah, you've already deleted your triggers, but
Yeah, but it's still.
you had some other errors. Okay. So
It doesn't like set log, global log,
Yeah,
access
yeah, try
denied.
that.
It does.
Try
It
that.
says you don't have access denied on that.
Did that already work? Did you run this one
Yeah, it says access denied.
still?
Yeah.
Even after running that one line. Oh,
No,
you can't.
but
do
you
that.
can't run that. Can't run the one line. It doesn't let you run the one line.
What does it say?
It says error code 1227 access denied. You need at least one of the super something.
Okay. See, when I opened mine in Workbench, it opened up another tab, but it said
Okay.
unconnected versus AWS. Yours seemed to open up another AWS tab at the
Just go,
very top.
just copy and paste it over to an AWS tab.
Okay.
So while James is figuring out that, I'm going to delete the procedures down here at the bottom. We're basically just getting this down to the basic table. I'm not sure if this is going to cause problems later on, but we can always rerun this after we find something. So I'm looking for something that says procedure. So on 5, where's procedure? Create function? Which one we have a procedure? So on 5 rewards.
569, create procedure.
Did my procedure work? Did yours not, Rob?
Yeah,
Hey
mine's
shirts. Hey shirts.
yeah, the error says create function. I'm sorry, it's create function get user. That didn't work. Actually, every time I run it, it seems to go a little further down. No, it doesn't. I got to get rid of that top line.
Mine didn't like create function, get customer. It didn't like the drop table if exists purchase.
Actually, you know what I think is happening, James?
Yeah.
I think we can only send so many commands at a time to it. I think that's what the problem is. I wonder if I run it from the line, if I run it from create procedure, just that one method.
I don't think you'd get that error message if that was the case.
So,
It's not sending them all at once anyway. The MySQL client sends them one at a time when it encounters a semicolon.
oh, okay.
That's not part of the language that says send the command that you have so far. So as far as the server goes, is these are all individuals.
See, but
the error message is very particular, and there is chatter about that on the internet about being relatively new behavior.
but I just ran them. It runs fine. You just
Yeah.
I just highlighted those and ran them
Really?
individually. So something above it is causing. I bet if we put the triggers back in there, it would actually work again. But anyway,
Yeah. If you run it one at a time.
yeah, go down to the bottom where it says, well, it depends what your error is, because I had a different error the first time. First time I had create procedure rewards error, and now then I had create functions get customer. So I just highlighted that one and ran it, and everything seems to work fine now.
Maybe it is going too fast. Weird though.
Well, we are using a very slow processor, slow connection. We're on like the low end one, so maybe there's something going on there.
Yeah.
But, so when you're done, everything. I don't know. Does everybody have a green checkbox at the bottom now?
I have a bunch of green check boxes, but then I also had the super privileged one. So.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and share your screen. Let's test that theory out on yours.
Yeah, test that theory.
And so your error, I can't see the bottom of your screen because my computer is blocking it from here. So
by the way, you can clear that log that's at the bottom if it's getting too cluttered to read.
okay, so yours says get function, get balance. See where it says create function. Scroll down to where it says get function in your code. So you can minimize that and do a search for function. Just do a control F and then function. Yeah.
Oh, just function?
Yeah, just function. And do the next one. Use the little arrow at the top. Next to function. It'll find the next one, or just scroll down, I guess. I don't know.
I was hitting enter and it was going to the next.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. That's good. I didn't know that. Okay. So did you find function for get whatever one we're looking for? Get customer.
Mine didn't like any of the function ones. I'd delete all of them.
Yeah. Okay. So highlight that and highlight that all the way to the bottom of the page. Just click that right in front of create. No, click in front of create and just drag it all the way to the bottom of the screen. Yeah, there you go. I'll keep all the way down, all the way. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Now run the command with the cursor.
This one?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it runs. Yep. So it has
How's it-
something to do with how many things are being, I don't know.
There's still errors that create function. I still had the same error. I did the same thing.
No, but you got
So
to
from
clear the other ones because what's happening is that's the previous error. That's not the error that we were just looking at, I don't think. So Philip, let's go to yours then.
So am I gonna need to add all that stuff back in?
No, I don't think our tables, we're not doing anything with those pieces of it. We're not running any of the functions or something. If you wanted to come back in, you could. So clear that. How do you clear that, James?
right click in the corner. If you right click on it, you should get a clear option. Yeah.
Okay, now run your commands. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so
and then the only one that I don't know if anyone else ran into, but the only other one it didn't like was your purchase.
yes, you can go up and I think it actually ran it the second time you went through it, whether you realize it or not. But you can go ahead and highlight it and run that one again if you want.
You might just need to highlight one statement within that block, or just put the cursor inside the middle of it and not have to highlight it all.
Oh,
I
okay.
have no
think.
idea where the purchase thing is.
You
Unless
can
it's
do a
on-
find. Yeah.
It was this.
Oh, the purchase one. Yeah, I haven't run mine yet. I got to run purchase yet, so I'm going to actually go back to my.
If they hit refresh, they should be able to see the tables if it worked at all.
Yep.
That's all we really care about. There you go. Let's see if that has tables. There. Looks mostly intact. It doesn't have some of the stored procedures and functions maybe, but like Rob said, we're not using those anyway.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and share mine here.
Can everyone see the database now like Phil just did with the refresh?
How did you refresh again?
Next to
The
this
two arrows that
scheme
are
at the
chasing
top.
each other.
What?
The two arrows that are chasing each other.
You have to go to schemas.
Yep,
Yes.
schema
If you
here.
haven't done
Top.
it first.
See the two arrows?
Oh, there we go.
There it is, but it's also a button.
World. Great.
Okay, and the last thing we need to do, and a good thing we had time here, was the create purchase. So I posted my code in there. So there's the drop table and the create purchase table. I just pasted that into what you call it, to MySQL Workbench, and I got an error on that one. Time zone cannot be set to null. So that must be another configuration thing. Time set. Where do I have null in here?
Mine was fine with it.
Where do I even have null? Insert values.
That might be something that a trigger does.
Yeah, set
If there's
time.
Because a trigger check, if there was a trigger that checked for the time zone value to make sure it was not null before it inserted into the database.
Yeah, so I just have to
that
delete this line right here. So something
Yeah.
with that one. So line 21 of mine. Anyway, that's the piece. And then I should have purchase. I'll have to refresh this. The purchase is there, and now we can actually go to Java code and connect to this stuff. So before I do that, I want to make sure everyone's got everything loaded and we got past all the errors. How we doing?
I got everything.
Okay, Philip, you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Mara, you're good.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so now we can go back over to Java. So open up Eclipse, and we're going to do the DB Connect tool. And the good thing is we only got to change like 2 lines of code to get it to work. And you could probably guess what 2 lines we have to change. Actually, it might only be 1 line we have to change.
Only 1 line, right?
Yeah, you just got to change. Well, your password,
Yeah,
you got to change your credentials. Basically, you're changing your credentials.
Admin username. URL.
So let me go ahead and move this over to my screen here. DB practice, source, and that's in my connection object. Okay, so this part here, make sure you don't delete more. You're really only replacing this 127.0.0.1, and you're also going to have to put the port number in for AWS. So the N number, this one you're going to need the port number on. So you're going to have to do all of that. It gets really long. I don't know if you can see it on my screen or not, but, and I don't need that \n. I'm not sure where that \n came from. Actually, does it need? I do need at the end of this also my Sequila. I forget what it, why did I take that out? Oh, it moves Sequila to the next line. That's I don't want that to the next line. So you still have Sequila in the end. You have the long pat. You got to put your port number in, and then you need to put in your credentials. And everything else should work because we didn't make any structural changes except for the ones that we had to delete there. But if you rerun your program, it should work.
Isn't there another class in there that needs the?
Yeah,
Isn't
the
it like
connection
practice
class.
Oh,
I think it's like
practice. You're right.
practice.
You're right.
Yeah.
I do. Good call. Good memory. Just gonna copy that across to practice. Save everything and then rerun this. Oh, I don't know if Ann is in our database though, the one we've been testing.
Well, Phil says you can use any one, right?
It's a staff. As long as you pull anyone from the staff.
But you don't know their
Unless-
password, do you? That one
Yeah.
password's crazy.
You have to go to their staff and pull it.
Can we just look it up from MySQL
Yeah,
Workbench?
you can. You can actually add Ann in. Maybe that's the easier way to do it, is to add Ann into the staff part.
That's debatable. That.
But the one password is really long. Oh, I don't have anybody in my staff. I don't. Oh, we didn't load our data. We created our tables, but we didn't load our data. There's another piece to the Sequila part we need to do, and that's to actually load data into it, which is my mistake here.
Hey, you know, if you put null, it might let you in.
You could try. Let's try it. That's a good question. Let's see if it does. Well, actually, I got in, but I think I had
Yeah.
I was still connecting my local database.
It doesn't
Oh,
let you use no.
I mean, that's what it's stated in there. I wouldn't see why I wouldn't let you in with null.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so let's load our data. That's probably the next piece we have to do anyway. So, okay, so the other piece is the Sequila data SQL. And I don't know if that's going to run as, hopefully that'll run easier than the other one, but you can just go ahead and open that up. And let's see, this could take a little while
That
to
one hit the trigger again, I think.
create trigger. Why is the create trigger even in here?
He's probably running the insert
Oh,
in.
customer create date on or before. Insert into value, duplicate I entry for primary. Duplicate one entry for primary into actor. Why would we have duplicate entries for actor? Oh, it probably isn't dropping everything. When I ran it partway, I hate it when it does that. So what happens is it's trying to do the insert again. Sequila is giving that the ID numbers that are primary, and then it's trying to insert it a second time. So, oh, this sucks. So basically, it must have ran the whole actor one. So we're going to have to not run the actor one again. Where did it have the line last time? And now insert into address. I got to get rid of all my address stuff. Actually, do you think, let me see if they're actually running these, if they're filling them up. Is staff populated? No. Okay, so we're gonna have to clean up one of these at a time. Shoot.
If you're brave enough, you could run your database creation scripts again.
Yeah, we probably could. Um,
Was there a trigger inside that database insert script? Like trigger creation?
for the data, yeah.
There was?
I don't know why. Yeah, why would there be one in there?
That's really bad.
Yes, I agree, because now we're stuck deleting everything
It's
out of
totally
here.
bad. It's just like, it's not, it's just a poor design.
Insert
This
into
is the last time
category.
we're going to use Sequila database for this class.
Well, it's funny how we learned this part from AWS causing the problems here, but
Yeah, there's some configuration information that's different in the AWS probably. I put some more information on Slack. Not that it's interesting to really hound this one down.
yeah. So I think what we want to do is just run the staff one. Find the staff one and highlight the staff only. So we got to create this. The table got created. We just got to do the insert into staff. So it looks like staff inserts are down on line 45,590.
Wait,
And
what file is that?
that's the Sequila data SQL file.
Oh, data. Okay.
And you're going to scroll all the way down to 45,559 and highlight lock table staff and commit and unlock. So you're going to run this piece that I have highlighted right there.
And it's line
45,559.
45.
I might clean this up and then give you guys a clean script for this.
Like a simplified version.
Yeah, because then we can run these cleanly, because right now we're going to be missing a bunch of content in here.
You'll have to be careful about the primary keys and all that as you simplify it.
Oh, yeah.
The foreign keys will be a little bit of a pain, but I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Couldn't we just make a staff member at this point?
Yeah, so I'm going to now. Yeah, you could just create staff. That's true.
Versus just inserting all that. And I'm sure this system already has it incrementing. So we can just create a staff member with the stuff we need.
Yeah, so it didn't even put my stuff in there anyway. So staff ID. So first name is Ann. Last name was Smith. Address ID is 1. Picture is null. Email was Ann at, I don't care, gmail.com. Store ID was 1. Active was 1. Username was Ann. Password was password. And last update should be fine. And we got so after you put that information in, make sure you click apply, because otherwise it will not save that information. Hopefully it gives me no errors on that. Okay. And actually, while someone is in here, can you do me a favor and make a second user? Actually, everybody make a second user, but use your name for the username, because we're going to connect to a second one. So go ahead and just create one, and you keep password for the password, but use your name for the username. And once you apply that, we can go back over to our program here and we can try to run this. And hopefully Ann will exist. Yay. I think, yay. Maybe not.
Is it gonna need all the address ID and store ID information?
I'm not sure what the keys are, but put 1 in for address ID and 1 in for store ID, because those I know exist. Well, actually, I don't know if they exist. Good point.
I just tried to select staff ID, first name, last name, address, all the stuff from staff, and it said, I don't have super privilege.
To select stuff from staff?
Yeah, and I just did a second ago, so I don't know why it's just giving me this thing.
What are you actually running? You're running select star from Sequila.staff?
Well, I tried that and it didn't like that. It gave me this, you don't have super privilege. So then I wrote out the whole select statement from staff, all of the different attributes.
Okay, go ahead and share, Mara, because I'm having, it's not actually, I don't think it's not connecting or something. I didn't test this part because normally this part works fine. But
Yeah.
for some reason, it's not actually connecting. I've never used the Sequila database on AWS. That was my bad for not actually trying to load this. I created a dummy database earlier. So select, oh, wait a minute. What did you use to run that? Did you
I
use,
used the Thunderbolt.
no, that one. That's the one you're in?
Yeah, because it only does that one.
Yeah, but it's trying to run and create inventory. So there's something.
Oh, what? Oh,
Yeah, I don't think it was highlighted. I don't think.
Oh, is it that one?
No, you want to use the one you did. So highlight it and then use the second one, that one. It's still trying to run everything. I'm not sure. What are you in? You're just in query one. Do Control A and just delete everything in there. Control A, delete, and now. Oh, you have a comma after your password.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and then you just like went right in and.
No, you have to right click. You have to do insert. So right click on staff table on the right hand. Oh, all the way to the left. I'm sorry, left hand. Sorry, left hand side. Left. Keep going left. Staff table, not the ID. Yep, right there. Right click and select rows, I guess. And now you can type in there. Don't put anything in there. Leave that one blank, and then put Ann in for first name or whatever name you want to put in there. One, yeah, I don't know if you have to put an address ID and then store ID. Leave picture null. I don't know if email is required, but go ahead and put an email in there. And then pick a name and then password for password. And then you can hit apply.
That's cool.
And then, so did anybody try theirs in Java? Because mine doesn't give me an error, but it doesn't actually put anything. It doesn't actually show anything.
So what exactly?
So you should be able to log in and see what it's.
I logged in,
Mine
could see the
worked.
menu.
It got to the menu. Mine's.
Yeah.
I must have changed some code in mine because I'm not getting anything. Okay, so Philip, if you can share then.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing is we had plenty of time to do this, which is nice. Okay, so yours works. Now, what I want you to, Steve, can you paste your endpoint and credentials into Slack so that Steve can connect to yours? Or yeah, let's do it that way.
You want Steve to connect to himself? You want me to connect?
I want you to
Steve?
connect to Steve's.
Okay.
I want to know why mine's not working. Mine was, because then I could show you on mine, but let's have some typo somewhere. Oh, he made it easy on you. He just paste that whole thing in there then.
This is what I need.
Yep, that's all you need. Just paste that in, and then we will connect with
What am I pasting in it?
practice probably because you're only going to connect to that piece of it. So just
So replace mine or
or
add
comment yours out. No, well you yeah, replace it or comment yours out so you can put yours back. It's up to you how you want to handle that. So
it? Oh, yeah, well,
or delete it and
do
comment it
that.
out.
Jeez Louise.
Okay, now you can go ahead
Mine's
and
gonna be different because I did this for the homework. So I used this for the homework on Monday. So just it's a little bit different.
what do you do different?
I did the like whole CRUD off of this, so it's changed. I didn't use the DB practice one.
That's fine as long as it has the connection information. That's all we really need. So then did you made a user with Steve and password?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you try to log in with Steve and password.
case sensitive there, Steve.
There you go.
Like
So
password.
we
Hi.
could potentially now connect to have one database, and you guys could just all talk off that one. You wouldn't have to create your own local ones. The problem is that if someone changes something that you were using, like say they changed Ann's or Steve's username, everyone would be impacted. Where if you can change it locally, you don't impact everyone else. But so barring all the Sequila script creation stuff, it's really nothing different than using MySQL Workbench, whether it's local. There must be some permission issues or some connectivity thresholds or throttles that allow us to do everything else. So strindex out of bounds. So I think it's because there's nothing in those tables. That's probably why you're getting those errors.
Pretty sure I was gonna say I saw the code. I'm sure it's a double.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's probably nothing in one of those tables because we didn't actually create any of that stuff. So this is all recorded. I'm going to stop recording because I don't want to talk about the next part.